question of how do I respond to employees who are looking for more money. And we're sharing a story of a client of ours that had a situation where an employee came in. Basically, he was a key employee. There was a transition of ownership that had just happened, and was basically holding a gun to the head of the owner, saying, "Hey, pay me more money or else I'm leaving." And we couldn't get the owner to see life without this person and be able to say no to it. So he was able to. So he wanted to give this person an increase in their salary, gave a little more duties with it, but to try to kind of keep them there and keep them happy, and was hoping that things would be good. Now, what often happens, and this happened in this case too, within a couple of years, it wasn't even that long. I think it was 18 months.
Yeah.
This employee left, and not only did this employee leave, this employee left and set up a competing business, and lied about it. Did it under the auspices of trying to go out and buy a different company, when really he was setting up a competing company. And so, the reason we bring this up is, when people come to talk to you about getting more money, that's one thing. How they go about doing it. They come in and they put that proverbial gun to the head. That's not somebody you probably want to have on your team going forward.
No, it's not going to last. It rarely does. Right. They've made up their mind already, and they're going to, it's like, hey, if somebody offered me $10 million for my business, I'll take it. It's the same principle.
Right.
They got nothing to lose by coming in, and they're playing the negotiation card pretty heavy, because they know that you're kind of weak-kneed in that area, not prepared, and I can take advantage of it if I'm that kind of person.
That's right.
And
so
he was that kind of person.
So you have two choices at that point, from our standpoint. One is to say no, and if that person leaves, so be it. So you can see that as being one option. If not, you can say yes, but make it very, very short term from the standpoint is you're going to, what you want to do is then have a plan to get that person out of there in the very near term,
That's
probably
right.
the next 6 months,
That's
to
right.
help make that transition a little smoother for you. But that kind of approach to you should be taken very seriously in terms of this is not the right kind of person to have long term for your organization. Now, often that happens, again, people will be opportunistic. We have another client where they've got, it's an earlier stage company, but they were doing some fundraising and getting some money on board. And when you know, as soon as the money comes on board, here comes people looking for more money. Also, they're being compensated for doing some stuff, and now they know there's some more money in the till. Everyone wants to get more of that money.
Funny how that works, isn't
Right.
it? Yeah, that's sharing the information the wrong way.
Right. Well, that's again, people being aware. It's one thing. It's okay. Well, they have to justify what are they going to be doing differently now than they weren't doing before. But again, versus saying, I want some of that money that's sitting there. Well, people have a false impression of what that's all about. You have money in the bank. If you go raise money from investors, well, money isn't necessarily there just to pay your people more money. It's maybe to use other things. People could be part of it, but not necessarily that.
Well, again,
Giving out raises all the time.
That's the education of the information of a company, and how do you share that? Without that, there are so many things that without these problems are very predictable. We've seen it hundreds of times, so often that as soon as they start describing it, we know. But like little kids, they gotta kind of go through the process and learn it for themselves. So these things are very predictable. These outcomes are very predictable.
Right. Well, it always depends on the person who's coming to talk to you. And if it's a key employee, that's always one path you might take. If it's somebody who's relatively easily replaceable, it's going to be a different path most likely.
Definitely. I think most business owners know that too. I
Yeah.
mean, they adjust their, if their right-hand person basically comes to them and is asking for more money, they're going to treat that person a lot differently than somebody 2 or 3 levels down on the org chart, if that would even happen.
Yeah, but I guess our experience though, Jack, has shown too is that if you do just go ask, to my point before, if somebody asks for it, that's usually the policy. If I come ask and threaten to leave, no matter what level you're at, chances are the boss is going to give you a little bump, because it's a pain in their butt to have to replace you, right? Even if you aren't, a key cog, you're still a cog in the, as part of the machine. So most owners would prefer to pay somebody extra couple bucks an hour or pay them a couple extra grand a year to avoid the pain and suffering having to go find somebody else, right?
Well, that's true.
Very short-term focus,
Yeah.
usually, right? Versus going, hey, no, this is what this position pays. That's all we can afford to it. But if you want to get paid more, here are opportunities for you to grow as part of the organization. Yeah, here's other value you can add to the organization that we'd be happy to kind of do that. But I guess overall to try to embrace that. If you do get that, because we've had clients where that hasn't happened, and you get wind of it, or somebody comes in and they're offering their 2 week notice. Well, how do we get here? Well, why are you leaving, Jack? Well, hey, I go in here and I'm getting recruited by somebody. And they're saying that they're going to pay me, $10,000 more than you're paying me, whatever it's going to be. Well, holy cow! Why don't you come talk to me about it, right? And again, it can become very
surprised, right?
Yeah, it can become very emotional very
you don't
quickly.
Have to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
or
an
somebody's
opportunity.
dragging you out too. They keep. We just had a very recent situation. So recent, I think it was this morning. We read one of those emails about somebody who wasn't going to come on board on this particular company, and he's been dragging it out for months, and just always kind of an annoyance.
Right.
So when somebody's annoying,
go ahead.
get rid of them.
Well, again,
it doesn't usually change into not being annoying, and it's not just money. There's other issues involved, and unless you have the time, and most of us don't, to try to get inside their head, which most of us don't have the skills anyway, move on quickly. Slow to hire, fast to fire. Isn't that cliche? That cliche is so good, it's just unbelievable. Slow to hire, fast to fire.
Yeah, most people don't do it.
No.
Being aware of the money, having the plan for this. We had another client. He said, the guy came in and was surprised, but he was able to increase the pay. In this case, it was one of those where the owner was kind of doing a bunch of creative ways to get compensation to this person because they had some things going on in their personal life in terms of spouses or whatever else, or divorces, or whoever it might be. Whereas had a certain amount of money that he's looking to make. And the owner didn't realize, okay, that stuff was all taken care of, or they had certain debts that were being done, or whatever it might be. Everybody has stories, right?
Right.
And within small business, typically there are lots of stories, and you know more about your employees and their personal lives and whatever's going on than many big corporations do. That's okay. Again, that's part of what makes a small business what it is. But again, so you may do some creative things to work around to help them out. He said, look, if you told me, I can certainly what you're doing is worth more. I'd be happy to pay you that. I was trying to do this to make it to make things work for you, right? So again, it's why don't they come talk to me? Again, so even in that situation, you had a key person, a good relationship where they'd kind of worked out a creative deal beforehand, and still weren't coming to them, right? So again, it can be very surprising, I'll call it emotional, because again, the most owners are more paternal in terms of wanting to kind of take care of their people. They truly believe that, and that's how they tend to operate. So when it's not taken that way, or it doesn't necessarily come back the same way, it can be it hurts. That's a big part of the struggles of the small business owners.
Do you think any of our listening audience has those problems? Do you think anyone is wrestling with that how question? How do I do this? How do you
deal with the employee coming in?
Yeah.
Well, if we don't have the owners feeling that, I guarantee you some of the employees are feeling that too. They want to know, well, how do I go approach the owner? Well, what you don't do is don't go in there with a gun in your hand and kind of put it to their head and say, I'm leaving or else kind of thing.
All wrong.
But have a case of what you want to do. To your point earlier, Jack, here's what I'm trying to do and progress. I've done some research, and my position's worth this in the marketplace. I'd like to be able to make this, and for that I'd be able to add more value to the company. So you approach it the right way, it'll be received in the right way. Because often the owners maybe just don't know. To your point, Jack, but most owners don't have a plan in place where they've got it laid out. Here's what we're going to do, and here's the progression of it. It's again, until somebody asks, they don't necessarily think about it as much.
More how questions. So if I'm listening to you and I talking today, I'm going to say, how do I put in a plan like this? How do I create a plan like this? You're talking plans. What does that mean? Well, what does it mean, Adam? I know you know, our website knows. We'd love to hear what people basically are doing on this score. Are they prepared? Aren't they prepared? How do they give information to people? How do they do this? How do they get them included? How are they ready when that person walks through the door and wants an increase? How do they counter that?
Yeah, it's all part of our 7 keys to success. If you go to our website at MaximumVP.com, there's a link there for the MVP playbook. And one of the menu items underneath there is called the 7 keys to success. And a couple of them that we talk about here today in this last segment have been the profit plan, which is number 2, and the organization plan, number 4.
So how do folks out there who own businesses, how do they handle those? That's what we like to know. How do they handle running a business without a profit plan and an organization plan? What does that mean? It means a visual that's put together in good form that they can educate not only themselves but their company and employees. And these how questions that we're going to be talking about are all run through there.
So we'll have more about that in our future episodes. We want to thank you again for joining us on this week's edition of Dirty Secrets of Small Business. We invite you to tune in every Monday at noon. If you have questions before our next show, or how questions you want to kind of put to us, you can give us an email at radio@maximumvp.com.